The method we're going with is a Tetsu Kasuya V60 method, but we're going to modify it because his original recipe is 5 60-gram pours with a gooseneck. That is designed for a stronger light roast. Dark roasts are naturally stronger already, just in flavor, not in caffeine content. Dark roasts actually have lower caffeine content, but in flavor, they're a lot bolder. And so we want to go for something that's a little less bold and a little more sweet so we can pull the fruit notes out of this coffee rather than just getting the earthy aspect of it. We don't want it to taste like soil. They're Sumatran beans from Papua New Guinea as well. Flavor notes from mulled fruit, brown sugar, and it's a little earthier. It's a lamplighter from King's Coast, so I always end up going back to try some of their stuff. This is a lot darker than the roasts I usually like doing. I'm more of a light roast, single origin, but gotta try it. Also, they name a lot of their stuff off of like TV shows, comic books, Twitch streamers. So this is named after the lamplighter from The Boys on Amazon. We're gonna go an extra 0.2 grams. It's not automatic, so their attention is pretty much based on the user. So I usually over wet my finger with this one to reduce as much static as possible and get as much out of the beans as I can, rather than, you know, losing a whole bunch of the coffee to it. Hop it into our hopper. Got it set to 23 clicks. We're going a little coarser because it's a darker roast. You want to go coarser with a darker roast because if you go too fine, it ends up really sour, almost bitter at the same time somehow. You lose a lot of flavor. It's too much body. You can come out a little syrupy. We're not shooting for an espresso texture, but we're wanting a clean cup for the pour over. So we're going for a sweeter cup. It's not as strong. So we're going to be doing 4 pours instead of the normal 5 on the Kasyua V60 method. With it being a darker roast, we don't want to go too hot on the temperature, so we're shooting for probably about 88 degrees Celsius or so, instead of 90 to 92 for a light roast. If we overdo, we can burn the coffee. We overheat it. Go. Wash up that paper flavor from the filter, and we don't waste water. So the good thing about pre-wetting with hot water is you get rid of the paper flavor, but you also preheat your carafe. We don't waste water, so add a little bit to our drinking glass. That'll help heat up that glass as well. The reason we want it warm is because we don't want to shock the coffee by pouring hot coffee into a cold container. You can lose a lot of the volatile compounds in the coffee. It's a little different with espresso. You can hyper chill an espresso shot as it's coming out, and that'll actually preserve a lot of those, but because we're going with a thinner body than espresso, we don't want to shock our coffee. Let's make sure we don't lose any more. Not bad. The really good part. Got about 20 grams in. Bed prep. So the reason we do this, 1, we even out the bed a little bit. 2, makes it a little bit easier to make sure all the grounds get saturated with water. So we're going to be doing 4 pours instead of 5. At 0 seconds, we're doing 50 grams in, 45 seconds, 70 grams in, 1.5 minutes, 90 grams in, 2 minutes and 10 seconds, 90 grams in. Shooting for about 4.5 minutes. Start our timer. We just want to go in a nice circular motion. So this is a bloom phase, so what we're seeing is the CO2 gas is escaping the grounds. Bubbles there. Just like a good bloom because it preps the bed for us a little bit. You can see it inflates itself a little bit. And also the bloom means that we don't lose too much of our coffee quality to CO2 gases escaping the beans. So at about 40 seconds, we're going to be shooting for 120 grams. Swirl just to agitate a little bit. And at a minute and a half, we're going to shoot for 210 grams or 90 grams out of the 120 we have. Still want to go for a light pour. We don't want to over agitate the beans, which is why we're also not pouring from too high. Especially with the dark roast, you don't want to over agitate. Another little swirl just to mix it all in. And then here at 2 minutes and 10 seconds, we're going to pour up to our total brew weight of 300 grams. Awesome. And last pour going in. Go a little bit lighter on this one. Nice steady center pour up to our brew weight. The prep on it. And as it gets down a little bit lower, we're going to give it another big swirl just to flatten out the coffee bed. Gonna get extraction out of it. And the goal here is that we're creating a sweeter cup. It's not as strong as what I've been getting out of the V60s for these. I'm just gonna finish heating these guys up. There we go. This should come in at actually about 4 minutes on the extraction. I mean, we have room to grind a little finer next time. My favorite part is the drawdown. Just shy of 4 minutes. Not too bad. And we definitely have something a little lighter in color than what I've been getting out of these. More of an orange hinge to it. Tinge, a little red. A little swirl. Cool it off just a bit.